You have been making financial decisions your entire adult life without the operating manual. Every salary negotiation, every purchase decision, every time you paid the minimum on a card or left money sitting in an account earning nothing, all of it made without the foundational vocabulary that would have changed how you understood what you were actually doing. Financial literacy is not a personality type. It is not a talent some people have and others don't. It is a body of knowledge, specific, learnable, finite, that nobody is born with and almost nobody is formally taught, but that anyone can acquire in 30 days with the right sequence of what to learn and in what order. Tony Stark did not walk into that cave with engineering knowledge he was born with. He built it systematically, from fundamentals, under conditions that made the learning urgent and the sequence matter enormously. Financial literacy works the same way. Not the whole subject at once, the fundamentals first, in the right order, until the vocabulary is installed, and every subsequent financial decision is made from a position of understanding rather than guesswork. Here is the 30-day sequence, week by week, concept by concept. Starting tonight, the 30-day sequence. Week 1, know where you stand. Before any financial concept can be applied, the baseline must be established. Days 1 through 7 are entirely about seeing, clearly and honestly, the current position. Calculate net worth. Everything owned minus everything owed. 1. Number. Track every outflow for 7 days without changing any behavior. Just observe where the money actually goes, not where you think it goes. Calculate the gap between monthly income and monthly essential expenses. Name every debt with its balance and interest rate. By day 7, you have the map. You cannot navigate from a position you cannot see. Most people never see it. The map is the most important product of the first week. Week 2. Learn the language. Financial literacy begins with vocabulary. Without it, every article, every conversation, every decision involves terms that carry meanings you are approximating rather than understanding. Days 8 through 14 install the core vocabulary: income versus wealth, assets versus liabilities, net worth versus cash flow, compound interest and how it works for you when invested and against you when borrowed, the difference between a savings account and an investment account, what inflation actually does to money that sits still, what an index fund is and why it matters, what a budget is and what it is not. One concept per day. Read it. Write the definition in your own words. Use it in one sentence describing your own financial position. The writing is not optional. It is how the vocabulary becomes yours rather than borrowed. Stay with weeks 3 and 4. The first 2 weeks build the map and the language. What comes next builds the decisions. And day 25 contains the single most important financial action a beginner can take that costs nothing and changes everything downstream from it permanently. Week 3. Build the foundation behaviors. Days 15 through 21. Install the 4 foundational financial behaviors that financial literacy without action cannot produce. First, set up the automatic transfer, a fixed amount from every income event to a separate account before spending begins. Second, identify the highest interest debt on the list from week 1 and add 1 additional payment above the minimum this month. Third, calculate what a 3-month essential expense emergency fund requires in your specific situation and set a monthly target for building it. Fourth, understand the tax structure on your current income well enough to know whether you are using the basic legal mechanisms available to reduce the amount you owe. These 4 behaviors do not require expertise. They require the vocabulary from week 2 and the baseline from week 1. They are available now. Install them this week. Week 4. Understand the machines. Days 22 through 30. Introduce the 3 basic mechanisms through which money compounds and grows. The index fund and why broad, low-cost, long-term position produces returns that active management almost never outperforms across a decade. The employer pension or retirement account and exactly what matching contribution means, and why leaving it unclaimed is the most expensive financial mistake a salaried employee can make, and compound interest, illustrated specifically with your own numbers. What a consistent monthly investment from your current income produces across 10, 20, and 30 years. Not estimated in the abstract, calculated with your actual numbers, written down, looked at once, and then left to run. By day 30, you understand the machines. You know how to see your position, how to speak the language, how the 4 foundational behaviors work, and how the 3 growth mechanisms operate. That is financial literacy. not mastery, literacy. The foundation from which every subsequent financial decision is made with understanding, rather than guesswork. Stark's engineering knowledge did not make him invincible. It made him capable of building something that addressed the specific problem in front of him. Financial literacy does the same thing. You came into this expecting the 30 days to feel like a course, a curriculum with lessons and tests and a certificate at the end confirming you had completed the financial literacy program. Financial literacy is not a body of knowledge you acquire and store. It is a set of decisions you make differently after acquiring it. The 30 days are worth nothing if the only output is familiarity with financial vocabulary that is never applied to an actual financial decision. The test of financial literacy is not what you can recite. It is whether the decision you make this month about your money is different from the decision you would have made last month, and different in a direction that produces a better position. 12 months from now, the 30 days build the vocabulary and the map. The decisions build the position. Both are required, neither is sufficient without the other. Tonight, week 1 begins. Not next week. Tonight, one action. Write your net worth. Assets minus liabilities. Everything you own, accounts, property, investments, any asset with value, minus everything you owe. One number, positive or negative, large or small. It does not matter. What matters is that you have it. The number exists. You can see it. The man who can see his financial position clearly makes different decisions than the man who cannot. That is the entire value of financial literacy compressed to its irreducible minimum, seeing clearly enough to decide differently. Then, track every outflow for 7 days, not to judge, to see. At the end of 7 days, you will have, for the first time, an accurate picture of where your money actually goes. That picture is more valuable than any financial advice available because it is specific to your actual life, rather than a generalized prescription for someone else's. Stark could not build anything until he understood exactly what resources he had and exactly what the problem required. Week 1 gives you the same starting position. Tonight is day 1. Financial literacy is not about knowing more. It is about no longer making decisions in the dark. 30 days turns the light on. Tonight is the switch. Note: this video covers general financial education and principles only. It is not financial advice. Your specific financial situation requires your own research and, where appropriate, guidance from a qualified financial professional. One question: have you ever calculated your actual net worth? Everything owned minus everything owed, written as a single number. Drop yes or no in the comments. If no, that is tonight's task. If yes, drop the month you last updated it. That date tells you more about your financial literacy than any quiz ever could. If this is the guide school never gave you, subscribe. More of this. The 30 days start tonight.